Okay, nothing. Good. We're good. Alright. Let's get rid of all this stuff. Force Stag. Trade. Alright, give me all this stuff. Please. Thank you. And this stuff too. And all this stuff especially. Cool. Alright, Lydia. Trade. No, no, I didn't want to do that. Fuck. Ah, god damn it. That's Girl Sphere. Okay, and give me all this. Yes, I know I'm carrying too much to run. Don't worry about it. I have so much stuff in my inventory, this is ridiculous. Okay. And then all this stuff too. Alright, now. Septums. How much do we have here? Well, ancient Nord coins. Yes, we got some of those. How many septums do I have? Okay, I'll put away 2,000. Roughly. Yeah, it's good enough. Okay, and scrolls. Got a couple of those. Food. Got a lot of this shit. Okay. Yeah, you guys just make yourselves at home. Don't worry about it. I'll get you when the times come. Okay, soul gems. Oh, nope, didn't want to do that. Okay. Drinks. Do I have any junk? I probably got something. Oh, child's doll. Boy's yellow tunic. Got a knife for some reason. Silver goblet. Okay. Potions. Version to magic. Draft to resist. I'm gonna put all this in there. Okay, cool. Now, this stuff tends to make the game crash sometimes, so I'm going to save before I deposit. Actually, let me just check and make sure I know all of these effects. Brass filings. Ravages health. Columbine root pulp. Fortifies barter. Interesting. Frozen Emperor Dragonfly resists magic. Trauma root resists magic. Okay, cool. Put all that in there, come on. Boom. Alright. Still carrying a bit too much to run, but that's okay. We're gonna go do the crafting materials. Alright. Sweet. Jewelry. Oh, I'm wearing that one, okay. Armor and clothes. Oops, I put something in here I didn't mean to. Type shields. Oh, I got a lot of shields in here. These all need to go into that other drawer. Weapons. Dwarven arrows, dwarven dagger, ebony sword, ebony war axe, forsworn arrows, forsworn staff, conjure lurcher. Yep. Okay. Oh, there's a war axe here too. Why is that there? Yeah, okay. This is for books, notes, and journals in here. Bounty, damage of poison recipe, forsworn missive, journal, Margaret's journal. That's a quest item. Goddess's letter, that's also a quest item. Shields. It's my personal enchanted items. Unique stuff. Let's see. Predator's Grace. Unique 10-string harp, unique flagon, unique Leviathan ruby. Cool. Let's see here. Do I have the Flames tome? Yes. So I'll go put that extra one in my bookshelf, or in my end table. Okay, cool. And since we're here, what time is it? 9 p.m.? Yeah, sure. Let's do some reading. Get a couple books out of our inventory at least. A Gentleman's Guide to Whiterun by Mikael the Bard. Welcome, good sir, to this indispensable guide. Within these pages, I, your humble author and guide, will describe to you the great city of Whiterun, the jewel of the north. Whiterun offers numerous diversions for the man in search of adventure, fortune, and companionship, whether for a night or for a lifetime. The city is graced with not one but two worthy taverns, and there are maids and wenches aplenty. The city is located rather centrally in Skyrim, and this is well, for it is not far from anywhere. Perched high upon a rocky hill, Whiterun dominates the grassy plains that surround it. High wooden walls protect its denizens from the wolves, mammoths, bandits, and other dangers lurking beyond. When you first enter through the city's main gate, you will find yourself in the Plains District. This is so named because it is the lowest of the city's 3 neighborhoods. Ah, but here can be found the Bannered Mare, which I count among the finest taverns in all Skyrim. The scenery within is quite compelling if you have an eye for the fairer sex. A stout lass named Hulda tends the bar. Don't let that stony Nord exterior fool you, for she is possessed of that same fiery passion that all Nord women try so hard to conceal. Sadia, the barmaid, is an exotic Redguard beauty. She is quite mysterious, and your humble author is determined to learn her secrets. Outside the Bannered Mare is a modest marketplace, and here is where I found true love. though I would never deter a fellow hunting hound from the chase, for indeed, why should I author these tomes if not to provide guidance in this very matter? I must ask that you do me this one kindness. Her name is Carlotta Valentia, and she is a magnificent beauty who makes a modest living selling bread and produce in the daylight hours. By the gods, I will make that feisty beauty mine some day. And of course, there are other services to be found in the Plains District. Bellathor's General Goods offers various and sundry wares for the adventurous traveler, and Arcadia's Cauldron offers what tonics and herbs one would expect from an apothecary's shop. Arcadia herself is an amiable sort. I often visit her to make conversation, as she is a fellow Imperial far from home. She is, however, a bit old for my taste. A gentleman of advanced years might find in her a worthy companion. Should you need your blade sharpened or your armor hammered, War Maidens offers smithing services very near the main gate. The smith is a pretty Nord named Adrienne Avenici, but she is married to a great hulking brute named Ulfberth Warbear. I don't think Adrienne is a Nord, and nor is Mikael an Imperial. This is all wrong. Adrienne is quite fair, but I should not want to find myself being introduced to the keen edge of that husband's war axe. If married ladies are your preferred sport, then have at it, but don't say that you weren't warned. Near to the smith is the Drunken Huntsman. Here some of the wealthier gentlemen gather to share both drink and rumors of the wide world. If you prefer a more distinguished class of company while you sip fine wine, you'll be well at home here. Of the Wind District I have little to say. Most of the buildings in the second tier of the city are residences, though there is also a temple of Kinnereth and Jorvaskr, the mead hall of the companions. There are some intriguing prospects to be found in the mead hall, should you favor a strong and fearless warrior woman. You will find little game at the temple, however. The priestess, Danica Purespring, has interest almost exclusively in spiritual matters. At last we come to the Cloud District, exclusive domain of the Jarl's castle. I have had some merry adventures within the stone walls of Dragon's Reach, let me tell you. The serving girls are most easily impressed by a well-spoken Imperial. After all, the nights in Skyrim do grow quite cold, if you take my meaning. And I will not deny that I have visited the town's jail once or twice, which can be found in the lower levels of the palace. As for the Jarl and his court, take pains to avoid them. I find that they lack any sense of humor or appreciation for the Imperial culture. Besides which, they are all wealthy men, and so must be viewed as your most serious competition. These Nords are simple folk after all, and too easily swayed by the sight of fine clothes and a purse full of septums. Now I will conclude this work by wishing you great success in your pursuits of women and wine. Spare a moment in your revels to think of me, your humble author, and the risks I have taken to bring you this most thorough report on all things of interest to the discerning gentleman in the grand city of Whiterun. Ah, but I will not lie and say that it was all a hardship. After all, who could want to sleep alone in such a cold and hard land as this? Not I. Oh, Mikael, you dirty bastard. Gentleman's Guide to Whiterun. Whoa. What just happened? Did this just like put all those books in my fucking... No. Oh my god. Really? Okay, hold on a second here. I'll be back. Okay, and I'm back. I don't know why all those books disappeared when I put that one on there, but I fixed it, and I'm going to save to make sure it doesn't happen again. Going to read another book, and then probably hit the road. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's sit again. Well, we're going to sleep and then hit the road. Let's see, I want to read Wabbajack. Little boys shouldn't summon up the forces of eternal darkness unless they have an adult supervising. I know. But on that sunny night on the 5th of First Seed, I didn't want an adult. I wanted Hermaeus Mora, the Daedra of knowledge, learning, gums, and varnishes. You see, I was told by a beautiful, large-breasted man who lived under the library in the hometown that the 5th of First Seed was Hermaeus Mora's night, and if I wanted the Ogma Infinium, the Book of Knowledge, I had to summon him. When you're the new King of Solitude, every bit of knowledge helps. Normally, you need a Witch's Coven, or a Mage's Guild, or at least matching pillowcase and sheets to invoke a Prince of Oblivion. The man under the library showed me how to do it myself. He told me to wait until the storm was at its height before shaving the cat. I've forgotten the rest of the ceremony. It doesn't matter. Someone appeared who I thought was Hermaeus Mora. The only thing that made me somewhat suspicious was Hermaeus Mora. From what I read, was a big, blobby, multi-eyed, clawed monstrosity, and this guy looked like a waistcoated banker. Also, he kept calling himself Sheogorath, not Hermaeus Mora. Still, I was so happy to have successfully summoned Hermaeus Mora, these inconsistencies did not bother me. He had me do some things that didn't make any sense to me, beyond the mortal scope, breadth, and ken, I suppose. And then his servant happily gave me something he called the Wabbajack. Wabbajack, 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 Wabbajack. Maybe the Wabbajack is the book of knowledge. Maybe I'm smarter because I know cats can be bats, can be rats, can be hats, can be gnats, and be that's, can be thises. And that doors can be bores, can be snores, can be floors, can be roars, can be spores, can be yours, can be mine. I must be smart, for the interconnective system is very clear to me. Then why or wherefore do people keep calling me mad? Wabbajack, Wabbajack, Wabbajack. Interesting read, sir. This sucks. Now I feel like I have to save every time before I put a book on this shelf. God damn it. Whatever. Okay. Well, I guess that one was really short. We can read another one. Let's see. The Book of Daedra. Surprised we haven't read that yet. Ooh. Rituals added. Nice. Cool. Azura, whose sphere is dusk and dawn, the magic in between realms of twilight, known as Moonshadow, Mother of the Rose, and Queen of the Night Sky. Boethia, whose sphere is deceit and conspiracy, and the secret plots of murder, assassination, treason, and unlawful overthrow of authority. Clavicus Vile, whose sphere is the granting of power and wishes through ritual invocations and pact. Hermaeus Mora, whose sphere is scrying of the tides of fate, of the past and future as read in the stars and heavens, and whose dominion are the treasures of knowledge and memory. Hircine, whose sphere is the hunt, the sport of Daedra, the great game, the chase, known as the huntsman and the father of man-beasts. Malakath, whose sphere is the patronage of the spurned and ostracized, the keeper of the sworn oath and the bloody curse. Mehrunes Dagon, whose sphere is destruction, change, revolution, energy, and ambition. Mephala, whose sphere is obscured to mortals, known by the names Webspinner, Spinner, and Spider, whose only consistent theme seems to be interference in the affairs of mortals for her amusement. Meridia, whose sphere is obscured to mortals, who is associated with the energies of living things. Molig Bal, whose sphere is the domination and enslavement of mortals, whose desire is to harvest the souls of mortals and to bring mortal souls within his sway by spreading seeds of strife and discord in the mortal realms. Namira, whose sphere is the ancient darkness, known as the spirit Daedra, ruler of sundry dark and shadowy spirits, associated with spiders, insects, slugs, and other repulsive creatures, which inspire mortals with an instinctive revulsion. Nocturnal, whose sphere is the night and darkness, who is known as the Night Mistress. Periite, whose sphere is the ordering of the lowest orders of oblivion, known as the Taskmaster. Sanguine, whose sphere is hedonistic revelry and debauchery and passionate indulgences of darker natures. Sheogorath, whose sphere is madness and whose motives are unknowable. Vermina, whose sphere is the realm of dreams and nightmares and from whose realm issues forth evil omens. Especially marked for special interest under the heading Malakath, you find a reference to Scourge, blessed by Malakath and dedicated to the use of mortals. In short, the reference suggests that any Daedra attempting to invoke the weapon's powers will be expelled into the void streams of oblivion. Of the legendary artifacts of the Daedra, many are well known, like Azura's Star and Sheogorath's Wabbajack. Others are less well known, like Scourge, Makin's Hammer, Bane of Daedra. Yet, though Malakath blessed Scourge to be potent against his Daedra kin, he thought not that it should fall into Daedric hands, than to serve as a tool for private war among Caitiff and Forsaken. Thus did Malakath curse the device, such that should any dark kin seek to invoke its powers, that a void should open and swallow that Daedra and purge him into oblivion's void streams. From thence to pathfind back to the real and unreal worlds in the full order of time. Okay. Kinda surprised I hadn't read that yet. Okay. Oops. Do I have the firmament on here? I don't think so. Okay, let's see. Let's get rid of some of these. Physicalities of werewolves. Book of Daedra. Okay. What was the other one? There was another one here. Galarion the Mystic, that was it. Alright, well, let's go to sleep for a bit. Yes. Alright, time to hit the road. Oops. Well, I guess we can have... Let's just eat, like, 3 raw cabbages. How about 7 raw cabbages? Let's do that. Boom. Breakfast.
Yes?
Okay, let's see. We got